Hi everybody, this is your old buddy yamjuice, and today I've got a little change of pace video for you. You know, people have asked me how we edit Bulletproof Underwear, the podcast that I do with Flex, and I think I'm going to show you right now just exactly how we do it. I have to edit this episode. This is episode number 117 with guest Maze's Realm, and you're going to actually see how this is done. So the very first thing that I do is I'm going to go to the folder that contains that video that we recorded, the screen cap. Alright, so I've already got it here. Let's see, nope, I don't have it here. I've got the audio. I've got a separate audio track. I'm going to go ahead and drag it into the timeline, and while that's doing this thing, I'm going to look up our video. Game captures, Corel video captures. I got a fuckload of these because I've been doing this a while. There we go. Alright, so this is going to be capture 257, so I'm just going to grab it and throw it right in the timeline. And okay, so now we have to wait till it builds the peaks on the audio. This, by the way, is not really Vegas. It's almost Vegas. It's Sony Movie Studio HD Platinum 11, but this is exactly like Sony Vegas. It's like there's no difference. So right now, if I move these, the audio and the video tracks are moving together, but let's see. Let's get the sync. It's like, because I record the audio on my side separate from the audio from the Skype call, I have to sync it up. So that's why I do this little thing. Alright, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the little window right over here, and I can see my hands, and I'm about to clap. So I'm going to take the very first time that they make contact here, slow motion. And see, you can with the mouse, you can stretch the timeline or shrink the timeline. You can go really frame by frame if you want. I'm just scrolling the mouse back and forth. Alright, so I'm going to take my hands, watch them, and see when they make contact. Boom. Just double check that. Boom. That's the first time that I clap them together. And if you look right here on my audio track, that's where the peak is, where the clap occurs. So if I do that, okay, so alright, so we're synced up. Alright, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look for the intro of the show, where we actually started talking in the show here. So let me just catch that. Okay, so that's where we started the show. So I'm just going to make sure. Okay, so that's good enough. Alright, so you can, like, once you've highlighted a track, like right now I've highlighted, you know, the green track, and I just hit the S button, which splits it. Okay, so I move up to the next track, split that, and there we go. I'm just going to click, you know, the other tracks and hit the delete button, and gets rid of those. Alright, so now I've got my very beginning. Alright, so the next thing that we do is, I don't want to, because right now you can grab the video track and it's synced with its own audio track. I want to be able to do that independently. So I go up to here where it says ignore event grouping. So I'm going to click that button. So now I can move the two parts of the track independently of each other. So what I want is a copy of this audio track, just the audio track. So I highlight it, I hold down the control button, and move it up here. So I've just made a copy, just an exact copy of it. Alright, so now I've got two copies of this, and what I do is I want to resize this. So if you come over here to the track motion button, that's the key to doing this. You can do a lot of things with it. If you look at this, I move it around. I'm going to put my video up here, and we're trying to get three boxes that are about the same size. Okay, so that's a place to start. Now I'm going to look at the track motion for the lower track, which is going to have the other two people in the Skype calls. So I'm going to bring that down. So you can bring it up, down, sideways, whatever. I'll bring that down, and I just eyeballing it. I can tell that needs to be a little bigger. And pull it down so it's nice and clean. Okay, we're going to go back to my track motion here till we get them all the size that we're looking for. Okay, that looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. So there we go. Now I'm going to go ahead, just always hit save, you know, because you never know, your computer could crash. So I've got the basic structure set up here. So if you look at it, you know, it'll be like, okay, so there it is. Alright, so next thing we're going to do is we're going to add the titles. Alright, so I'm going to need more audio, so more video tracks. So I just go up to here, highlight that, right click, insert video track, insert video track, insert video track. So the first title is going to be the title of the show. So I go up to media generators. If you look here, there's all these tabs. There's the project media. Media generators. I like this one right here. Titles and text. Click on that and just drag it down. Just drag it down. Alright, so I'm just going to write the name of the show. Bulletproof underwear. Okay. Grab the edge of it and you can stretch it out. Now, if you look at it, it's way the fuck too big, and I happen to know that that the size, you know, that I want here is about 0.4 or 0.38. I'm going to go 0.43. I'm going to go 0.38. Now, when I click on the thing again, you see it's in a more appropriate size. So once you've highlighted it and you've clicked on the actual track itself, you know, you can stretch it out, you can bring it all the way to the edge, you can cut it, you can shrink it, whatever you want to do. But once you've highlighted it, now you can move this around. You can just move this anywhere you want. So traditionally, we always set this right up at the top, right just like that. Trying to set it just how we want it. Okay. So also I want it to be a different color. So we have a certain color that we do this at. It's kind of like this kind of color. Now you can click anywhere on here. You know, you can make this, you know, crazy colors. If you look at where we're at here. Okay, that's about the right color. So we're going to then click on to the animation. And I like the thing to move a little bit. So I've got this one that I like. It's called Earthquake. So when we play it back, you'll see the there you go. That is the motion. So I just hit the space bar to stop the recording. I can hit the space bar to start it up again. Alright, so now we've got our first title. That is the title of the show. So now we're going to put the titles underneath myself and the guests. So grab another one. Stick it down here. Type in my name. And of course, stretch it out. Bring it out here. Alright, now that's way the fuck too big. And I happen to know that it's about 0.25 or something like that. I'm going to go 0.23. Okay, so I just changed the size of this to 0.23. Now, once I click on here, that shrinks down. It's almost in the right spot, but I'm just going to grab it, move it just about right here, and boom. There you go. So that's my name. I'm going to grab another one for Flex. Drag the timeline out all the way. Type his name in. And since we already got 0.23, we're going to stick with 0.23 and highlight it. And now, if you notice, it puts it right in the center of the screen. It always starts off putting it in the center of the screen. So I'm going to drag his title and put it right down at the bottom. And our guest, we're going to grab a title for him. I'm going to drag it out. Grab the edge. Oops. Come on. There we go. We got the edge. Drag it all the way out. Our guest this week is Maze's Realm. Do the sizing correctly. Highlight it, and now it goes, of course, to the center of the screen, so we just drag it right down where we want it. Try to get it the same as we got flex, and that looks about right. But you know, I like the titles to not stick out quite as much like a sore thumb. So there's this thing that you can do. You can grab the top of the track, and if you notice my name, it gets lighter. It becomes sort of semi-translucent. You can see through it. So, all right, we'll go like 40%. Let's try 40%. Yeah, okay, so it doesn't stand out so much. Now I'm going to do the same to Flex's name. Grab the top of his title here. Go to 40%. And same thing with Maze. There we go. All right, so now if I start the track, you can see it. You can see right through the titles. So just get these all the same. It snaps when you get there, and it highlights here. All right. So one thing I like to do is I like to put the title screen after we do the initial intro. So I'm just going to play it. Actually, that might not be the beginning of the video. Let's just take a look. Alright, so where does it start? That's where it starts. Okay, so yeah, I got it in the right spot. Okay, so right there, I'm going to split it. I'm going to take the S key after I've highlighted the track, split it, go to the next track, split, 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 go all the way up. I'm going to split the title tracks, split, split, split. Okay, might as well bring these out all the way. And every now and then, just hit the save button. Just trust me, you'll be glad you did. All right, so we're going to put the title in. So I'm just going to move all of these. So I just changed the tool to the selection tool here, and just sort of make a loop. It grabs them all. Just gets them out of the way. Just gets them the hell out of the way. And the next thing, and I'll change it back here. Change it to the normal edit tool. All right, so we're going to look for a title. I happen to know that I've got it under this right here, and this is where we like to use it. I'm just going to drag it into the timeline somewhere. All right, so now we've got our intro. It's like if I've still got the ignore event grouping thing on. So we're going to have the audio on this on a separate track here. We'll just bring it down here. We'll bring this up here, and you can see our intro. Now if I were to put it on the same line that we've already manipulated the track motion, it would be fucked up. So I'll just stick it anywhere here. And you know what, I'm just gonna trim it a little bit. Okay, so now that's just how I want it. Except, okay, so I'm gonna turn off the event grouping. You know what, I'm gonna shrink the duration of this. So if I play it, that's the intro for Bulletproof Underwear. But just for the hell of it, we're going to shrink it. We're going to make it take less time. So if I highlight it, hold down the control key, and go like that, I just made it faster and quicker. Okay, so it just takes up a little less time. It also increases the pitch of it just a little bit, but that's no big deal. So we're going to grab all those tracks that we had before, just loop them, and just bring it over. All right, then go back to my normal edit tool. Alright, so the very first thing I want to do is I want to fade in, do some fade ins here. So if you put your cursor up at the top and you get this little symbol here where it shows that fade, you can just grab it like that. And let's do it to the other tracks. So now, when I do it, notice that that we all come in a little bit of a fade. I'm going to do that on the titles as well. Okay, so I'm going to start it, and we're going to do the exact same thing when we come back after the break. So here's how it is now. You know, we're talking. Whoops. And there's our intro, and it comes back in. Okay, so we're going to put a little fade right there. We want them all to be the same. So we grab all the titles, all the tracks, and put a little fade in. So it looks nice. Alright, so we've got the beginning of the show down. Alright, so let's find the end of the show. Actually, we do another thing. I always do this edit. We have a way we end the show where we do this thing. Let me show you here. Okay, so that's how we do the end of the show. So I'm just going to grab that spot and I do a freeze frame. Okay, that looks like a good spot for a freeze frame. Oops. I want to get everybody looking good. That's my dog. Just want to get Maze in there. So what we do next is we take a snapshot. We do a freeze frame. So I just click on the audio, on the video track rather, and go up to this little thing where it says Save Snapshot to File. And we're going to put it in the right track. Bulletproof Underwear. Episode 117. And I'm just going to call it ARG. Alright, so notice it's up here in my project media. Oh, that dog's driving me crazy. So we're going to split. We're going to, right here where we did that, we're going to split the track. Oops. I screwed up. Let me go back a few steps. We're going to Control Z. We undo things that we already did. Okay, so I realized that I didn't have this one all the way pulled forward. So yeah, we want everybody's name in on the snapshot. Okay. So that's a good spot for a snapshot. So we just go up here. We hit the S key to split it. We split that one. And we split the titles. Okay, but notice I didn't split the audio, because the audio is going to carry on. We're just going to make a little space to stick this here. Follow along here. I grab the edge. I'm not moving it. I'm just, opening up a little place where we can drop in the edit here that we just took, the snapshot. Okay, hopefully my dog will shut the hell up. Alright, so right there, we're just going to go one, we're going to find a spot, boom, right there. We're going to take a snapshot right here. Save snapshot to file. And we're going to replace this with ARG. Elasticus, it already exists. Yeah, we're going to replace it. Alright, so now just lay that down into the track. Boom. So, if I click on this and hit play, okay, so now we've got our freeze frame. It's a little longer than I want, so I'm just going to go over here. And we want it to fade out with a nice long fade. See that long fade? So watch the track. Okay, so that means I'm just going to bring all the rest of them right here. Okay, and just make a nice little easy fade, come back in. And they'll snap to the same spot. Alright, so watch this whole thing. Okay, so that's the very end of the video. Right there, that little bloop where you hear the Skype thing. Loop. So there's the audio for it. So that's where we're going to cut it off. Actually, let me just see. I want to, like right there. That looks good. That looks like a good spot to end the video. We want the audio part in there, though. I want to hear that little bloop sound, because that's how you know that the show is over, because you hear the bloop. So we'll get rid of the everything up to here. Bring it all in. I'm just trimming the edges here. Alright, so we go like this. Bloop. Alright, so that's when I have this other little thing that I like to put on, this little test pattern. So, camera folder, titles. I just have this thing, where is it at? Test pattern. Alright, so I just grab it and move it over here. Alright, so that means as soon as it hits, play, you little bastard. Okay, so we're done. We're damn near finished. I'm just going to go over to media generators and grab one more and just say thanks for watching. And of course it's way the hell too big, so I don't know, let's make it about the same size, 0.38 as the other thing. We just give it a little color. I don't know, for some reason I use that as kind of a pink color for that. Alright, so have a nice long fade. It's a good effect. It's longer than I need it to be. So I have a nice long effect. Alright, so if you watch this here, we click out. And it comes on, and it fades out. And boom, they're very professional. Alright, so the thing is edited, I believe. I'm going to click the save button. I'm trying to think what else I need to do. I'm going to go back in and I'm going to dick around with the audio settings. I'm going to, mess around with the volume and mixing it just right. But you have now seen exactly how we edit this show. We're just going to highlight this little loop region. Okay. We just highlight this loop region. Bring it all the way to the very beginning. Test it out. Okay. So that's an hour 35-minute show. Alright, so we would just go up here, project media, and this is render as. I'm not going to render it right now because I haven't finished the audio, but this is the settings that I use. Now it takes forever if you go 1080p on a podcast like this. It's an hour and a half video, so we're going to do it at 720. We're going to pick 720, and we're going to go 25 frames per second. Since this is a Skype video, this isn't high quality video. That's what we're going to click it on. We just pick a folder, gamer folder, edited game folder, bulletproof underwear, We're going to stick it right in the same folder that it already was from. And then you can title this however you want, and I typically title it Final Render. And just click the render key and wait for a long ass time, maybe a couple of hours, maybe 3 hours for a video this length to fully render. Then you're ready to just upload it to YouTube. So we're going to cancel this. All right, so I might do some more video editing tutorials in the future, but this is how we edit bulletproof underwear, and I just thought I'd share it with you. So want to let you know. Thanks for watching.